everybody. Welcome to the Valentine's Day special. Today we have our special guest, Shafe Dog. Is it Shafe Dog? Is it Rich? What's the way we go by?
Yes, either is fine.
Either. Okay. Shafe Dog, I'll call you that, but I'll probably turn around to Rich soon. You are our relationship expert, whether you know it or not. So today it's Valentine's Day, effectively. We're going to do an Elite Eight competition of relationship-based games to determine the greatest Valentine's game ever. And as an added bonus, Adam and I solicited relationship questions from listeners so that we can have the relationship master himself, Rich, give his advice. So hold on tight. Here we go. We're going to go into round one. Adam, you want to take it away?
So the beautiful thing is we have an Elite Eight bracket, just like March Madness. We are each going to lay out the game. After that, you will tell us what game is the best relationship game and which one will be moving on to the Final Four and ultimately the champion. So to begin with, we have Feel the Magic and Beat 'em and Eat 'em. And Alex is going to describe both these games.
Oh, I got to talk about both of them. Okay. Feel the Magic, XXXY. Don't forget that part of the name. It's a game about the events of a man who meet a girl and they instantly fall in love. However, she's not nearly as receptive. So he has to, motivate her a bit by protecting her from a stampede of bulls and giving her massages through the Nintendo DS touch screen. And he's got a bunch of guys around him with rabbit ears that cheer him on. And he gets a romantic rival too, apparently, and he's going to have to compete with that guy too. But basically, it's a launch title DS game, and you're just using the touch screen to rub a woman and, help her feel the magic. Have you ever heard of this game? Have you seen this game, Rich?
Oh, I have not, man, but you have me at XXYX, so.
Yeah. It means sex stuff, I think. The next game is Beat 'em and Eat 'em, a notorious Atari game. Have you heard of this one, Rich?
Doesn't sound familiar, but describe it to me. Maybe we'll come back to me.
Well, think about like Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, Gallagher or something like that. But instead of being a spaceship, you are two naked women on the street who must catch something in their mouths that comes from a man who's doing something from the rooftop. I think it's a good relationship game because it's a game about a mutual understanding between three parties and the respect between them. I also think it's a healthy celebration of sexual appetite, and it's a non-shaming example of apparently a positive polyamory trio. So, old Atari game, yeah. Have you heard of this one?
No.
Okay.
Did we have to start with these?
I don't
not
know.
all this weird.
No, this is great, though. These descriptions are.
These are real games. Maybe don't look them up, but yeah. Which one are you taking, Adam?
So it's about a relationship, right? And I Beat 'em and Eat 'em, although it's funnier, it has nothing to do with an actual relationship. So I've gotta feel the magic. But what I think doesn't matter. Only the love expert, Shafe Dog. It only matters what you think.
Only from a safety standpoint of potentially having your eye put out, I'm going to have to go with the first game.
All right. I bought that game at launch on the DS and played through it. Had a wonderful time and I fell in love. It's a great game for relationships. All right. After this first competition, we have our first question from a listener. You ready, Rich? Our man, he went by Brayjet in the email. Brayjet. My girlfriend was going through my phone and saw that I had texted my podcast co-host a lot more than her. And I had actually sent him a lot of shirtless pictures that I had never shown to her. How do I tell her this is normal and she shouldn't be jealous?
I think the best way to handle this is to tell her that you're asking your co-host what his opinion is before you send it to your girlfriend. So you send her a good picture. He's just, being a judge. You don't want to send the wrong image, bad lighting, bad angles, it just wouldn't go off well. You got to have a good picture. I think that's all he needs to tell her.
That is impressive. What a turn. That's why you're the love guru, man. Well done. Let's see how you do in our next battle. Catherine versus The Last of Us Part 2. I'll give Alex a little break. I'll start with The Last of Us Part 2. So this game obviously is known for its spine-tingling combat, but hidden within its gory exterior is a wonderful relationship advice between Ellie and Dina. I don't know if you've played the game, but the relationship between them spans pretty much being very sappy and there are loving scenes, and then there's a realistic real life struggle within that relationship as well. So we go from, they're dancing in the town hall or dance, and it's really friendly, but there's that hidden romantic desire between the two, between just straight up lesbian sex. They're smoking weed, they get separated and worry about each other. There's sacrifice and struggle. Not every decision in this relationship within this game is easy, and life does throw curveballs, and that's what makes it such a great relationship game, in my opinion. And for example, even Ellie has her own inner demons that she has to battle, and that is wedged between the relationship between her and Dina. And so I think it's a great relationship game, but Alex thinks Catherine is also a fair competitor.
I think Catherine's a fair competitor because it's a more realistic game. So Catherine, if you haven't heard of it, you play as Vincent Brooks. You're unwilling to commit to marrying your longtime girlfriend named Catherine with a K. You get in a fight, he goes to a bar at some point, and he has a one-night stand with a woman named Catherine with a C. And this begins a tumultuous affair for him. And he starts having nightmares where he's climbing up, like a Tetris block set. And there's a giant baby chasing at his heels, trying to eat him. And if you fall, you die. So I think it's just, this is something that people might find themselves a situation they're in, unlike Last of Us with the zombie apocalypse.
Is that even a game? How is that even a game?
It's a great game, great relationship game.
Is it like on DOS or something, or the Commodore where you just hit Y or N? Do you want to cheat? Y? No, like
I don't think they ported it to the Commodore yet. It's on the PS4 though.
Okay, so it's going okay. Rich, those are the two games laid out between you or for you. What is the best relationship game in your opinion?
I actually have a little bit of experience with both of these games. I did not finish either, but there was something about one of them that tugged on my heartstrings. And it might have been right about the time someone got whacked with a golf club. I can't specifically remember. So I'm going to go with Last of Us Part 2.
All right. I win. Go figure, because I'm the best. So we have another question from a listener, goes by Dildo Swaggins. So I keep sending, and this is from him, I keep sending love letters to my love in the mail, but they keep getting lost. The mail is complete and utter garbage. They suck. Should I just keep sending the love letters, although I'm getting nothing back, meaning they're not getting to her, or should I just send a freaking email?
No, I would definitely keep sending them through the mail, buy stamps. Because at some point I'm going to need to finish the collection. I'm just going to have to get them to where they're supposed to go. So I'll do better.
Okay, if you're the strange. Okay, next is a game is a game of mine. Persona 5 and Final Fantasy 10. I've played both these, so I'll take this. And I'll get your opinion too, Alex, because I think it's interesting. So I'm playing Persona 5 now. The protagonist Joker has a multitude of potential relationships, which is real life relationship advice. You can choose how you date and who you date. Do you want to be a little flirty and daring with your answers and your courtship, or do you want to be a little more innocent and introverted? So you can really simulate how you want to date in real life within this game. So for example, do you want to date a underage, big boobied blonde with a bubbly personality? Well, you got On. Do you want to date a underage, serious, self-motivated, integrity-driven high schooler? Well, then you got Makoto. Do you want to date an older, more risky, attention-hungry part of the paparazzi? Then you got Oya. See, it is wonderful how you can date all these different women, learn the intricacies, and then, like I said, simulate what you want to do in real life. And then Final Fantasy X, I've got to admit, I hate the game. I think it's complete trash. I just think it's a biblical ripoff and a suckfest of a game. But Titus and Yuna's romance is no joke. It is a testament to the entire relationships that you can have in life from start to finish, from the very kind of awkward beginning introductions to the absolute awkwardest silences and statements that they make to each other, along with the sacrifice. And the relationship really has it all. You can feel yourself grow personally while watching their love unfold. They give a demo on kissing in a nice little beautiful scene. They share each other's dreams, their angst. Titus gets a little jealous when Una is potentially might have to marry this other dude. And then it all culminates in the ultimate sacrifice. So what more could you really ask for in a relationship or a relationship game? So those are the two games laid out for you. Alex, I don't know. I know you played a little Persona. You haven't played much Final Fantasy. Of the two, what do you think is the strongest one?
I'm beginning to think that you took some of these games way more serious than I did. You have good expectations. I would probably pick Persona just because I've played Persona. I don't really like Final Fantasy's overwrought drama. Persona's got the real deal, man.
I think you just like dating a bunch of women because you're a whore of a man.
That's probably true.
It is. Rich, what do you think?
He is a whore of a man. Yes.
Yes, I'm glad you picked up on it. I was hoping you wouldn't pass that. Okay, it's settled. Alex is a whore of a man. How about the game though?
Wow. Persona, Final Fantasy X. I really thought at one point in time, with Kingdom Hearts, I was going to really have a falling out with Square and their take on the JRPG style games. But in this situation, despite the horrendous game that is Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to go with Final Fantasy X.
Oh, a little disagreement from Alex. You know,
but then a little agreement too with the Kingdom Hearts bit. That matters more.
Get out here. You want to tackle the next question, Alex?
Yeah. Our next listener here, somebody go by the name of Annie Position. That's an interesting last name. The question is, how many times is it healthy for me to watch myself grow personally in 1 week?
I think it's healthy as long as it doesn't hurt.
All right. That sounds good.
What is happening? Okay. Well, I guess the next matchup is you nailed it. Summer Lesson versus Overcooked. So I'll lay out Summer Lesson. So a strange fellow once suggested Summer Lesson to us, and it's interesting because it's a PSVR game and it excels in the intricacies of beginning a relationship. So you first meet a woman like you do in real life. In this case, it's a Japanese high schooler, and you have to meet and approach how you would court her in a very gentle way. You have to choose what activities you do together, very much like in real life. So do you want to go for a workout? Do you want to study? Do you want to go to the fireworks? Do you want to read? You name it, you get to pick it. But you do have goals in mind, just like you do in real life. And so you really have to choose what you do wisely and how you manage your time. And it's a great simulation for a real life relationship without the risk. If you mess up, you just start over with another high schooler. Big deal. Just like in life. Hopefully you're a high schooler. But beautiful game. Summer Lesson for VR. I also think the VR aspect amps that up. It's going against Overcooked, which I've never played, so I'm intrigued to hear how Alex discusses this.
Yeah, Overcooked is a cooperative game, time-based competition game where you and a partner have to work together to create food for the menu for the customers that are coming in and ordering it. And they order a lot of food, so you got to learn how to make a lot of it quickly, and they all have different time tasks that you do. But you have to work together because often it's one person has to complete something on one side, another person has to complete it on another, and they pass it across a hallway. Gets really frustrating, really annoying, and it's kind of like the divorce test for marriages. You go into this game as a couple, you might not come out together. So that's why I think it's a great real relationship game. So that's why it's on here. It's not faking anything. It's a real relationship test.
Oh, that's a tough one. Actually, I like your answer, but again, I don't matter. Love Guru, what do you think?
I'm really curious that strange guy that sent you Summer Lesson, a game about dating high school girls or developing relationships with high school girls. Let's put it that way.
Such a weirdo.
I wonder if they're allowed within 500 yards of the school. Just, food for thought.
Alex isn't, and he,
I haven't played both of these. I've played a lot of Overcooked. And as much as it pains me to say, I'm going to have to go with Overcooked.
Oh, it beat out Summer Lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
Aunt Jim has a question for you. Do you think I may be bisexual if I am more aroused by the roast beef po' boy and Reuben on rye on the nightstand than I am in my partner during intimacy?
Oh man. It depends on what that roast beef reminds you of. I mean, is it loose roast beef?
Dude, I don't think. I think it's just a sandwich. I don't know. From the email, it sounds like just a sandwich.
Yeah, it brings more questions, I think. But I think you just have to be comfortable with pounding that po' boy.
All right. So moving on to semifinal number 1, Alex, we have Feel the Magic, XXXY, and Last of Us Part 2. I'll start with Last of Us Part 2 while you think about what you want to present for Feel the Magic. So I've kind of mentioned Last of Us Part 2 already. So it's beautiful in the fact that it does actually show realistic relationships in which things aren't always pretty. Crap happens. People make mistakes. I'm sure coming out in a small community to be lesbians is not easy. Your relationship in life isn't going to be perfect. You're going to have to make some sacrifices and it may be weird. And then, as I mentioned, I don't want to do any spoilers, especially since you haven't finished the game, but there are some things that Ellie has contempt for or things she has in her past, things within her that hold her back in their relationship, and she has to deal with those and has to make decisions. What is more important? Where are my priorities? And that's why I think Last of Us Part 2 is a wonderful relationship game, actually, between she and Dina, but maybe they don't feel the magic in the air tonight. I think that's a song, right? Alex, tell me why you think Feel the Magic is a better relationship game.
I think Feel the Magic is a better relationship game because it is actually you who's forming the relationship. In Last of Us, you're watching two people form a relationship with each other. But in this game, I came to embody the protagonist and I fell in love with the girl in my Nintendo DS, and she was my girlfriend for a long time and we were happy. You're just watching a relationship in Last of Us. You really enter a real relationship and Feel the Magic.
One question before we make Rich makes the final decision. Can you play Feel the Magic with one hand?
How else would you play it?
Just curious. Rich, what do you think between these two love fest of games? Which one is the best relationship game?
I mean, you make a compelling case for The Last of Us. Alex makes an equally compelling case for Feel the Magic. But I think in this case, since one was clearly like the building blocks of Alexa and Siri, I think, and that's where we're going. I think I'm going to go with XXY.
Yes.
In this situation.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not see that coming. All right. I think you have the next question, right, Alex?
Oh yeah, this question was sent in by Whole Gamer. How early is too early to break the mud pie barrier in my girlfriend's toilet? I only asked because I did it on the first date and she hasn't texted me since. It's been 3 weeks and I've not yet had a reply from my girlfriend. Even though I've clarified that I don't always have mud pies that sloppy and sometimes they don't even stink. And I keep telling her that it's totally normal.
I think the best way to handle this is to send a text message to her, but reference another person's name. And that way she'll instantly respond, "Hey, I'm Becky, damn it, not Veronica," and then that'll at least break the ice, getting it back on to where you ultimately want to go.
This is some good advice.
Dude,
I like that.
I am genuinely impressed. The
accidental text on purpose. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Wow. Touche. Okay, our final matchup before the championship round is Final Fantasy X versus Overcooked. And here I will begin by, I've talked about Final Fantasy X, ignore the game itself, but really, as you watch the relationship between Titus and Yuna grow, it really, similar to Last of Us, has everything, but it's on a little bit less, it's a more conservative scale. It's a man and a woman, and they've got normal relationship problems. There is some awkward excuse me, there is some awkwardness in the beginning, like there is with any relationship, right? You just went from kind of being friends to now you're becoming love interests. You're really learning on what the sacrifices mean, and as they learn more about each other and their dreams and their purpose in life, how do they intermix together and move in life together forward? And so I think it's a good metaphor and overall model for relationships today. Hopefully they end better than theirs did, but that's not necessarily the point. It's not a happy ending, but sometimes relationships don't have happy endings. So it's a beautiful, Final Fantasy X is a good relationship game. And Alex, talk about Overcooked.
Final Fantasy X is about one kind of relationship going down one path. When you're setting in, you're on the rails, and that relationship is going to take its course no matter what you do. However, when you enter into Overcooked with somebody who you've entered into a relationship with, who knows what's going to happen by the time that console shuts off. You could grow from friends to lovers, or you could grow from lovers back down to friends because of how you play in that game. So it's testing a real relationship with a variety of endings.
Okay, what do you think, Rich?
Wow, that was deep. And it gave me the feel. So since he brought up the ebb and flow of traditional relationships, I'm going to have to go with Overcooked.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll do one final fan question here. Wilma Fingerdew asked, during a date, I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, she was gone. I waited 15 minutes. She didn't show up. I called her. She didn't answer her phone. She's not in the restaurant. So is her food free game?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what else is free game? Sticking her with the check.
But she's not there.
Yeah, but you don't know that for sure. She could have went over to another booth. You just kind of work your way back out.
So you just leave and hope she is there.
There's a window in the bathroom typically. I'm just saying, you could slide back out.
I love the idea of one person sneaking out of the date and then the second person also sneaking out of the date.
That's beautiful. Okay, well, Alex, you're going to be doing the talking. I mean, I don't know what else you have to say about these. We got Feel the Magic XXXY versus Overcooked in our championship round for the best relationship game and the Valentine's Award of 2022.
Well, Adam, part of it's just me making the argument to you. I got to change your mind. I think I know what Rich is going to do. Feel the Magic XXXY, you build a real relationship in that game from you. But with Overcooked, you are building on a real relationship with someone else, not with the game. So it's really just like, are you wanting to build up or are you wanting to potentially build down? That's how you have to choose which game is the most realistic and greatest relationship Valentine's game of all time.
Yeah, this is tough. And we all three can make a decision on this round. I'm really on the fence. The thing that why I'm not sold on Overcooked is the fact that it still is a game. So in my mind, there is a clear divide between, yeah, maybe I'm upset at you temporarily during this game because you're slow and you can't follow my instructions, but also, like, after the game, like, we're in real life now. Like, there should be a difference between that. Whereas Feel the Magic, you're making all the decisions and you get to simulate, okay, how about if I act like this or do this? But again, it's not with a real human. So there really is, it's tough. Rich, what do you think?
I think it comes down to this. When it comes to Feel the Magic on a Nintendo DS, kind of like your personal life, once the battery dies with your happy Joy device, your relationship is over. With Overcooked, you can just keep on playing. You don't have to worry about a battery dying. So it's going to be Overcooked here.
Oh, okay. Alex, depending on what you think, Alex, my opinion may not matter. Where are you leaning?
I think it's got to be Overcooked for the open-endedness. I think that's the way it's got to go. And I don't like the way things ended between me and I think your name's Chihiro on Feel the Magic. It wasn't a good relationship for me in the end, but Overcooked, I can always have something.
Okay, well then there it is, folks. The best Valentine's game is Overcooked. Go buy it now. You can buy it PlayStation, a lot of different options in order to play that puppy. It's just fun. Thank you, Rich, for joining us. Thank you for all of your Love Guru advice. I'm very impressed in how you answered a lot of those off the wall questions, but we all learned a lot. Thank you for watching. Good luck being Overcooked.